Yes, welcome along to the final Monday fan zone of the season. Leroy's going to be gutted. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, we've got to talk about the 2024-2025 campaign. Of course, it all rounded up yesterday. Highlight of the season?
Oh, look, I think that when Liverpool got over the line against Tottenham, it was a special occasion. But, you know, yesterday, when Trent got the reception that he deserved, I've got emotion. I've got emotion here.
Yeah, he was there crying with his family. Okay, we'll get into that in just a moment, but here's all the best bits from the season.
Title number 20, Liverpool, Premier League champions.
What a season it's been. So here are the results from the final day of the campaign. So you had Manchester City securing Champions League football, beating Fulham 2-0. Liverpool held to a draw against Palace. Manchester United, of course, recovering from that Europa League defeat midweek, beating Aston Villa 2-0. Newcastle losing at home to Everton 1-0. Chelsea getting a much-needed win over Nottingham Forest 1-0 as well there. Then you had Spurs, of course, Europa League winners, losing 4-1 to Brighton. And then Wolves drawing against Brentford. And here's how the table is. Of course, it was the European places that we were focused on. Liverpool champions getting their hands on the trophy. Arsenal secured second. Manchester City ended in third. Chelsea went up to fourth. And then Newcastle got that final Champions League position. Aston Villa, of course, will be in Europa League. And it's Nottingham Forest who get Conference League. And here's how the bottom of the table is looking. So the standout results then, Manchester United ended the season in 15th, Spurs, one place above the relegation zone, of course, dropping points again yesterday. And then, as we've already known, Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton dropping to the Championship. Wow, what a season it's been. It's been so great to have all of you. Leroy, you said that your highlight was the reception that Trent received at the end of that game at Anfield. He's been at the club for 20 years. It's going to be a miss for us in the Premier League.
A miss for us and a miss for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Look, they will get bigger and stronger, but I love the emotion from the fans and the way it was reflected by Trent with him and his family. Shows how much the club means to him. But it's been an amazing season.
Yeah.
And you talk about Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal, too worried about each other, while Liverpool just cruised through and took the title. And, you know, the likes of Man United and Tottenham, you know, just avoiding relegation. Meanwhile, Tottenham are winning a trophy and qualifying for the Champions League. Incredible. But the story is all about Liverpool. They cruised to that title under Arne Slot, and Arne Slot's done an exceptional job.
Yeah, he really has. How's he going to top it next season? We'll get into that in just a moment. But, of course, yesterday was a special day for the Reds as they got their hands on the trophy. And the celebrations continue today as there's a trophy parade in the city of Liverpool. We sent JJ along to get us all the best bits.
Hi, JJ.
Hi, FANZONers. It's been a while and no need to ask who I'm supporting today. Anyone who watches FANZone knows exactly who I support. So here I am at the Cunard building on Liverpool's waterfront, and what an excellent viewpoint to take in Liverpool's trophy parade today. The parade's going to be about 10 miles in length, ending in the city centre, and reportedly there's going to be between 500,000 and 750,000 Liverpool fans lining the streets of this city today. Coming up later on FANZone, I'm going to be chatting to two people that have travelled halfway across the world to take in these amazing celebrations and be here today. So really looking forward to that.
Thanks, JJ. Look at that, life of a Liverpool fan. You get to go and celebrate with your players.
And the free hat as well, because JJ don't pay for anything, so I know that hat was free. That's why he's wearing it, because he don't pay for anything, JJ. I know him well.
Did he pay for the train ticket to Liverpool?
Most probably not.
OK, well, let's talk to another Liverpool fan who's all the way in Botswana. Zach joins us now. Zach, we've spoken to you throughout the season. We can now speak to you at this moment when you've got your hands on the trophy. What a campaign it's been with Arne Slot. Could you describe the Liverpool season in one word for me?
Brilliant.
Love it.
But we want a few more words after that now, because what's it mean to you? What does it mean to you, and how is it, you know, in terms of next season, what does it mean for Liverpool going forward?
Leroy, look, I've been a Liverpool supporter for the past 40 years. But the emotions of yesterday were it was just something, you know, it was indescribable, because the COVID season, we couldn't celebrate properly, but yesterday was just joyful.
And what does it say about the club, Zach, when you've got the likes of Jurgen Klopp in the stands, who's just as happy, you know, to be a part of it?
Now, it just shows, you know, what an excellent club this is. Down to earth, humble club. Bringing in Jurgen yesterday was just amazing. I think, you know, because he didn't get to celebrate properly the COVID season, so yesterday was just brilliant to see him in the stands.
I mean, yeah, Zach, you're absolutely right. The thing is, Zach, it feels like you've been celebrating for weeks. You know, just like it's been ongoing. The streets have been packed. Has it been the same for you out there in Botswana?
Definitely, Leroy. You know, I was on the show with Will and Clint a while ago, and at that time we were challenging for all 4 trophies. And they asked me, "What do you think?" I thought we'll win all 4. To be honest with you, but winning the cream of the crop has been phenomenal.
Oh, well, there's something you had to lose this season.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Zach. But in terms of next season, the standard is set so high. Here's how we think your new Liverpool team could look next season. I say new, of course, because the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold won't be there. You might have a couple of additions if we're to believe the reports and rumours coming out. So take a look at this. We want to get your thoughts on how we at FanZone think that Liverpool could look come August. So Alisson's still in goal, but then, of course, replacing Trent Alexander-Arnold, we've got Jeremy Frimpong, you've got Konate, Van Dijk, Kirkeggs, and then Florian Wirtz up front, who's I guess the standout of another one. So what do you think? But nothing confirmed, of course.
We're winning the lot. with that squad, we're winning the lot.
I mean, look, it's a really good side, isn't it? I mean, you look at that team, and I think Arne Slot said, look, we've already got a very good team already. Do you think those are the kind of tweaks you need, just 2 or 3 players to you're saying, like, you thought that you could win all 4? Now, Liverpool would want to maybe try and do a double next season. I know, look, that's what they'll be aiming to do.
Double?
Well, the Premier League will be one of them.
Okay.
Champions League.
And what else?
Yeah, for sure. I think Champions League and the Premier League trophy, and if the FA Cup comes in, will be a bonus.
Do you think it'd be difficult now because you'll be favourites now? Because the likes of Arsenal, you know, Man City, you'll feel that Arsenal, they've got work to do, but Liverpool got such this great framework to build on. Is that going to be different now? You're going to be favourites to going into that first game of the season?
Yeah, look, Leroy, last season we were not favourites at all. I think most pundits thought we'd finish 5th or 4th, you know, with Slot coming in. But now, again, being the favourites puts more pressure on the team. But with all those new guys coming in, I think we will be challenging.
You'll be challenging, but do you think you'll be keeping those red and white strings on the trophy come next May?
You know what? I don't see why not, but obviously, you know, you got to see what comes in. And then, obviously, you know, for the first few games of the season, see how they play and how they gel. And then from there, we can make predictions.
Cool.
Fair enough. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show this season, Zach. Enjoy it. It's very well deserved, of course, celebrating with Liverpool.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all my guys, Isi, Boda, Adil. They all stood by us throughout the season.
Oh, I love it. Repping the Liverpool fans out there in Botswana. Take care.
Cheers,
Thank you, Zach. As if we haven't spoken enough about the Reds this season. Leroy mentioned that it feels like we've been celebrating their Premier League title for some weeks. We're going to continue just a bit longer though on FanZone, because take a look at this. Out in Uganda, some of these fans couldn't get to Liverpool for the trophy parade today. So you know what they did? They invented their own one in the streets of the capital in Kampala. Take a look at this. Oh, the dedication from fans. They've got a double-decker bus there. I'm not sure who's on the top, Leroy.
I'm not sure. It's just like the Liverpool team, honorary Liverpool team in Uganda, just soaking up the atmosphere. Absolutely brilliant. It just shows, doesn't it, the amount of supporters around the world and how they want to celebrate. And they were all wanted to be a part of it, and they were a part of it. They made themselves a part of it, and they deserve the accolades that they got.
Yeah, they do. Just very quickly, I'm going to put you on the spot. do you think Slot's got what it takes to make this team be continually successful? Of course, Klopp won it, and then they kind of fell off.
No, it depends on what you mean by continually successful. Does it mean in the Premier League again? Look, they're going to be up there.
Yeah.
I do think that Arsenal have been bitten hard by this, and I think they'll come back strong next season. You heard it here first. Arsenal will come back strong next season. Pep's not going to accept this. They're going to come back strong. Man United and Tottenham can't be as bad as they were this season. There's lots of ingredients there. So I think they're going to be consistent. Liverpool, and then from a really good base. It's for the rest to catch them. Let's put it that way.
OK, it's for the rest to catch them. Well, we're going to catch them back out in Liverpool because we're going to head back to JJ at the trophy parade.
OK, I'm here with Tiffany and Michael, who are both two massive Liverpool fans who've travelled here from Orlando today. You're from Orlando, but originally from New York, Tiffany. Brooklyn. How did you end up as a Liverpool fan?
Mr. Michael, my husband, when I first met him, I want to say about 9-10 years ago, he introduced me to Liverpool. And my dad, he used to play football in Puerto Rico, but I had no interest. I was always into basketball and LeBron. But when I got with him, he was like, listen, this is something I know you'll be interested in. And he will tell you today that I'm more a fan than him. I'm like a fanatic. I plan our brunches around it, our days around it. There's no trip if they don't have a TV where we can watch Liverpool.
I'm going to demonstrate in a moment exactly how much of a fanatic Tiffany is. But first, to you, Michael, how did you end up as a Liverpool fan?
I fell in love with Fernando Torres and Gerrard, and then ever since then it's been Liverpool's been here, and Steelers been here. Liverpool's been taking my heart by storm ever since then.
Well, now I did say I'm going to tell you exactly how much of a fanatic Tiffany is. Tiffany, can we show the camera your nails?
Yes.
All right, look at that. Football, you'll never walk alone.
97 for the Hillsborough.
97. Is that the live bird there?
Yes.
Oh, look at this.
And Mo Salah.
Oh, look at that. The King Mo. And
Michael has it too.
Tattoo. That's incredible.
Yes.
It's a club that has incredible songs and known for the cops singing at the top of their voices. What is your favourite song from the Tennessees?
I'll say right now, on the whole slot.
La 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 la. On a slot. La 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 la. 20. That's 20 in the bag. 21 coming soon. Another European Cup coming soon next year. Just wait on it.
Thank you very much, Tiffany,
Thank
Michael.
you.
Of course. Thank you very much.
It was
Enjoy
a
the
pleasure.
day.
Thank you
Yes.
so much. Up the Reds. Up the Reds, baby. Up the Reds.
Back to you guys.
Up the Reds. You going to get your nails done, Leroy?
Yeah, I like her nails. So I'm going to get them done like that. I think it suit me. I like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Liverpool.
I don't know about
colour
Liverpool
colours?
red. It might be a different colour, but they definitely. I think I need an upgrade on what I've
OK,
already got.
we'll sort that out for the beginning of next season. OK, so from the champions to second place, Arsenal, of course, the season didn't end how the Arsenal fans would have hoped, quite frankly. You said they're going to come back with a vengeance next season. That's to be seen. But let me tell you this. FANZONE got an exclusive sit-down with the Gunners boss, Mikel Arteta, and he said they should hold tight. There's going to be more next season, guys. Listen to this.
Mikel, thank you so much for joining on FANZONE today. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Mikel, we have got fans around the world who have sent in their burning questions for you today. Are you ready to answer them?
Yeah, for sure. Pleasure.
Amazing, let's do it. So I'm going to give you the iPad,
Yeah.
and then you're going to go through, swipe that way.
Okay.
We'll start with the first one. So the first one, we have Andre from South Africa.
Okay.
I'd like to find out from you, now that we're headed towards the end of the season, it's the holidays now, what will you be doing that is not football related?
I will be heading to Spain first and spend some time with my family. We have organized already a few birthday parties because I have 3 boys. The 3 of them are from June, so we already have 3 big birthday parties organized. So a lot of family are coming, friends as well. So we're gonna gather together. So that's part of the plan. Then we'll go abroad for a week. We always do somewhere quiet that we can be the 5 of us together, spend some time on privacy.
3 boys as well. Are you on the beach playing football? You're in the pool with the kids? Is that how it works?
Yeah, especially the little one. The moment we are on holidays, goes on my top, and he doesn't want to leave me alone for the whole holidays. The other 2 are a bit older, but yeah, very active with a lot of sports, planning, hiking, obviously, connection with the sun and the water. I love it during the summer, so I take the opportunity to do that.
Amazing. Next up, we've got Jason from the USA.
What book or movie has had a big impact on you, and why?
One of my favorites is Gladiator. I don't know, it touches me, it moves me. There is history, there is a story there that relates a lot of the values and the things that I try to encourage my family to do.
Right, next we've got Chris from Ghana.
Okay.
I just want to know from you, how do you maintain your mental well-being, and what are the strategies do you utilize to bounce back from a massive setback? Thank you.
Well, first of all, obviously it is my family. I feel so proud of the family that we have created, of the parents that I have, the friends that I have, and the way I've been raised. That gives me tranquility, that gives me freedom, because I can be myself, and I feel protected. And that's what it gives me, stability. And there are a lot of things in our lives, and especially in this profession, that can alter quickly your emotional state, the way you think, the way you feel. But I always go back to, I do what I do because I love it. It's my passion. And something that is my passion cannot put in danger or my health or my emotional state or my family. You know, I will never allow that to happen.
That's really special. Thanks, Mikhail. Let's move on to Anil and Anushka from India.
Okay.
Hi, Mikhail. I'm Anil.
And I'm Anushka.
And we are Arsenal fans from Mumbai, India. And the question that we have for you today is,
what is your favorite food that you cook at home?
And is there a favorite cuisine that you love?
For me to cook, the thing that I enjoy the most are barbecues, and I love it because at the end it's not just cooking whatever you're gonna cook in the barbecue. It's about the moment and sharing that moment. And cuisine, many, but I love Japanese food.
Next we've got Kule from Nigeria.
Nigeria, let's go.
Oh yeah, now my gaffer. It's Kunle, aka the Niger Englishman here. My question to you, Gaffer, is if you had any superpower, you could have one superpower, what would it be and why? Oh yeah, now.
I'm gonna go for 2.
Okay, let's do it.
One, it will be the capacity to heal people. That would be for sure the one, that if I can keep everybody safe and healthy, I think, and I have the power to do that, I think there is nothing better to do in life. And the second one, if I could freeze moments and pause and look around and enjoy the present moment, because things go that fast, and in this society everything is 100 miles an hour, that sometimes it would be great to say, okay, stop this moment and read your body language, their body language, how we're feeling about this, what we're doing, and say, okay, now I'm ready to go to the next one.
With the fans that have sent you questions today, how important is it to connect with them around the world?
Sometimes we're just seeing all these different parts of the world, and when you look at their smiles, the way they're looking at it, they all have the Arsenal shirts. It's the capacity that football has to unite and connect people around the world with, again, with one passion, which is a football club or a player or something that makes you feel in a special way, and it's just fascinating.
Mikhail, thank you so much for joining us on FANZONE today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to Rebecca there. A very calm and reflective Mikel Arteta after what's been a challenging season, Leroy.
Yeah, he came across really well.
Yeah.
And I think he's good with people. I think he's good with his players. I think he has found it challenging and difficult. We know that they've had injuries. Again, I know we make a joke about coming second, but I do think You know, especially in the Champions League, you know, fine margins has cost them this season. And I honestly do think that he'll put it right this season. You know, he's been there, 5 years? And I think now he will demand that he gets the players through the door to make sure that they're successful this season. So I think Arsenal, I've said that Liverpool will be the favourites, I think Arsenal will be a massive threat next season to the Premier League title.
OK, we'll see about that. But one of the fans in that clip was Andre. He joins us live now from South Africa. Andre, first of all, how does it feel? The gaffer answered one of your questions.
I mean, now everyone can believe that, you know, I have conversations with the gaffer. That feels good. That feels really good.
Yeah. And Andre, wait a minute, congratulations. We've got to congratulate Arsenal's women. They won the Champions League. The Arsenal women won the Champions League. You've got to celebrate. We've got to celebrate something, Andre. And I'll tell you what, the women deserve big ups because they did a terrific job. Underdogs against Barcelona. They won the Champions League. They're showing the men's team how to do it.
No, definitely. It was quite inspiring. They really saved us, especially on social media. Now, you know, we can also sing that we have a trophy, a European trophy at home. So, yeah, they really saved us this week. It was really bad, especially with the Tottenham win.
But looking back, Andre, because, of course, we are fans, we've got to talk about the good and the bad. I guess one of the bad things you could say about Arsenal's last few seasons is that they've spent the most number of days of any club at the top of the table, yet they've had nothing to show for it, essentially. Look at that. 324 days at the pinnacle of the Premier League table. And unfortunately, it's not yielded any Premier League trophies.
And not once on the last day of the season, Andre.
There you go. Thank you, Mr. Poet. But how does Mikel Arteta change that for next season? It's not just about the players through the door. What else do you think needs to change on the ground?
You know, I'm sure you saw the video earlier, how he spoke about a particular superpower that he had specifically with this season about keeping the players fit. We've been very unlucky in that department. It seems as though we can't even catch a break. When one player comes in, another player comes out. The heels comes in, another one comes out. So, to be quite honest, I think our luck has to be a bit better. I don't know what we need to do to raise that up. But in terms of consistency, play, with everything that we had to face, I mean, second place for the third time, I really don't know what else. Unless maybe we could also get a striker. Maybe that one.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe that.
I was just going to ask you that. You can't rely on luck. You can't say our luck's got to be better. That's not, you know, there's no, everybody has, you know, bad luck, good luck. That's how football goes. But if you're Mikel Arteta, and I'm saying to you, look, I think he's going to make sure he gets the people through the door. First person you're going to get through the door, or first position you're going to get through the door is striker.
Definitely, 110%. It has to be a number 9. I mean, we obviously we do have, you know, Kai, we have Jesus. I mean, he turned Mikel Merino into a 9 as well. He scored a couple of goals. But I think if he's able to do that with midfielders, if you look at their actual, you know, how long they've been playing a particular position for, if he has a real traditional 9, then yes, a lot of teams are in trouble.
Andre, I think it's fair to say that a striker is at the top of the wish list for any Arsenal fan. So if you could pick one, be it in the Premier League or across Europe right now, who would you like to see through those doors at London Colney?
I mean, the number 14 has been hanging for some time at the back there. And unfortunately, Newcastle have Champions League now. But I would have loved a particular number 14 from their team to wear our jersey, and yeah, I'll just leave it there.
You're not getting him. You're not getting him, Andre. You're not getting him. Be realistic. Come on. You
might want to move to London. Who knows?
You're not getting him. No chance.
Listen, don't let him kill your dreams, Andre. Dream all you want. We could dream about Isak if we want.
Yeah, dream away.
Okay, well, Andre, it's been great having you. Thank you for sending in your question for Mikel Arteta. Take care. Enjoy the summer.
Thanks, Andre.
Yeah, Arsenal fans can dream, of course, because Newcastle do have Champions League football, and we're going to be talking about the race for Europe after the break. Of course, it went right down to the wire, and you can see why that man in particular was very happy. We'll get into all the Champions League talk in just a moment. See you on the other side. Welcome back to Fan Zone. We're getting into all the talking points from the final day of the Premier League season. But at this point, I thought it'd be nice to take a little flashback to Leroy's predictions at the start of this season. Take a look at this. Don't take offence, Nottingham Forest fans, by the way. What? I've got to ask you, top 4 predictions.
Well, I was going to put an A as number 1, and then I had a reboot and put an M and Man City at the top. Only because they've been there and done it before.
So you think they're going to do another historic thing and win 5 titles in a row?
Arsenal, Liverpool, and I think Man United might just sneak in there.
Oh, I love a little surprise on this show. Leroy always thinks he's got the last word. There you go. Do you want to apologise to Forest fans for one more time, Leroy?
I'm sorry, Forest fans. Sorry, Man United fans. You're fourth from bottom, not fourth from top.
Yeah, but not quite the case, because here, of course, is the final standings from this season. Arsenal in second. Manchester City, you got that one wrong.
Yes.
You also got Liverpool's place wrong, obviously.
Yeah, wrong.
You thought Manchester United, they weren't even on the first 10 positions. Newcastle finishing in 5th, Champions League football again. Villa, Europa League. And then Forest, of course, I think that's the big standout.
It is, and it felt like a massive disappointment for Forest fans yesterday, but they were magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Nuno did an amazing job. And yeah, they've got European football, but because of where they were, I think that's why it's so disappointing. I do feel for them. I do feel.
But yeah, of course, the race to Europe, in particular Champions League football, was what we were all looking and talking about yesterday. So let's talk about Chelsea, because what a huge win they had at Forest. Of course, beating Nuno Espirito's side. Nobody really saw it coming because it was so finely balanced. Let's talk to Leslie, who is in St Kitts. So Leslie's going to be very happy. Look at him, smile from ear to ear.
You got the game in the back. You watching it again, Leslie? You enjoying it again?
Yes. I have to watch it again.
Because you can't believe it.
No, I knew it was going to happen. I said that from the jump. We are going to make it into the Champions League. I just had a problem. With our coach saying that we are too far ahead in December, and I just didn't like that at all.
Well, I mean, to be honest, he was right. He was right. He said you weren't going to challenge for the Premier League, but I know what you mean. It kind of just put a really kind of negative feeling around being a Chelsea supporter. But now, the feeling's positive. Where'd you go now? You qualify for Champions League. What's the aim? What do you want to achieve?
I want to win the league. I want to parade again.
Sorry, Leslie, sorry.
Leslie, let's talk about it, because your squad, of course, you've got one of the youngest sides in the Premier League, and people wondered if that would be, I guess, the Achilles heel into securing Champions League football. Do you feel, honestly, that you've got enough to challenge for the Premier League next season?
Yes, with the right motivation, we can do it. It's just these guys are young, and sometimes the pressure of social media, pressure from the news messes with their heads. So they've gotten that out of the way, and we're ready now to compete.
Just Leslie, just on that, them being obviously very young, they're in the Champions League. Do you think this squad now, with that experience behind them, I know you're saying about challenging for the Premier League, do you think they can make that step? Or I'm saying about Arsenal, they know what they need. Do you think Maresca knows what you need to challenge for the Premier League?
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I honestly don't think he does. I honestly don't think he does. It's got to be about the players now have to take it upon themselves to do more, because obviously the coach gets surprised, like, whoa, we're doing too much, guys. Slow down.
Well, Leslie, thank you so much for joining us. Lovely to see you smile. Enjoy Champions League football next season. So it was Chelsea that got the win over Nottingham Forest. Unfortunately, they're not in Champions League football, but they do have some form of European football. We've got Egil joining us from Norway. Leroy was just saying that it almost felt like yesterday was a bit of a downer, because you didn't get Champions League football despite being in and around those top 5 positions for so long. What are your thoughts a day after the end of the season?
No, I was, of course, disappointed, yeah. But, looking back, this season was marvelous. And, the last 20 years has nothing been anything like this. So we have to be happy. We are playing in Europe again. So, yeah, but yesterday I was disappointed, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think you can't be disappointed, because some pundits who do not know what they're talking about, Egil, as you're going down. It's ridiculous, those sort of people who come up with that sort of predictions. But you've overachieved. Now, it's not being disrespectful. You have overachieved this season, but you've got Conference League football next year. What are your expectations now? Because expectations can sometimes be a real problem. You know, you're going to next season thinking, oh, we need to get in the Champions League next season. What are your expectations realistically?
I don't know. You know, it's the prediction. I don't think anybody predicted us so high this season now, and I didn't think myself we were going to do this good. So, and there's always this danger of doing well. You know, it's bigger fall after being so high. So of course, I don't know. It's but we need to, as a group of players, they are achieving new things and they have to step up to a new level. Europe football requires a broader squad, and I think some of the players need to step up a little bit more. I think we have a quite good squad, but we have a striker that is getting a little bit older and maybe a little injured sometimes, and so there's some position we need to strengthen definitely, and definitely we need to keep the best players as well.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask you about, Egil, because of course you were in the top 5 for a total of 165 days over this season, and that was down to 163 rather, but that was down to some of the key players that you mentioned. So who do you think Nottingham Forest and Nuno Espirito Santo absolutely must keep? Because a lot of other clubs, especially the ones that finished above you, would have been eyeing some of them.
You have, the two strong guys in the back and the goalkeeper, which I think has been quite essential. And then you have Gibbs White has been linked to Manchester City, but I think the central line, the Wood as a top scorer as well, has been a quite important players. I think that Murillo and Milenkovic and Sells has been. We need to keep them definitely, and Gibbs White as well. So that's my favorites.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think most people would agree with you. And I think those top teams would want to take all of the players that you mentioned. So, Egil, of course, you mentioned European football for the first time in many years at the City Ground. It's going to be exciting nonetheless. You see Chelsea have got to the final. I guess that's the benchmark for you. So thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you on the show. Egil there from Norway, a Nottingham Forest fan. So from Forest, we've got to talk about the other team that missed out on Champions League football. Steve, an Aston Villa fan who's in Switzerland. We're going to have him join us in just a second.
There he is.
How do you feel, Steve? The dust is settled now. We're 24 hours or so after the final day of the season. Europa League football, next campaign.
Why did you take your glasses off to look at us, Steve? Wait. Why did you have to take your glasses off to look at us? So you can see us less? That was kind of, I found that disrespectful. Don't you want to see more of us?
No, they're like my reading glasses.
Oh, right.
I've actually got fairly good vision, but yeah. Anyway,
I wanted to see less of us, but no.
Being a little bit better. It's a little bit blurry when I've got them on.
But did it feel a little bit blurry yesterday after that result?
Oh, yeah. It's one of them sort of woke up and thought, oh, was that a bad dream, a nightmare? But actually, of course, moments to reflect. It was still a great season. Really proud of them, really proud of Emery. The club's in great hands. And I think really the main consensus from pretty much every Villa fan is the way we played yesterday. We didn't really deserve too much from the game. However, 20 minutes to go, you score the goal, the whistle blows. If that goes forward, then we don't think that we only needed a point. I mean, it was pretty shocking, right?
We're just watching it now, Steve, and fortunately the referee has already blown his whistle, so VAR can't get involved. And look at Unai Emery, the reaction just says it all, how much it means. He felt it was a massive turning point in the game. And it could have been, obviously, but I'm glad that you said that you reflected on the game as a Villa fan. The performance wasn't really...
losing Emi Martinez so early on as well.
Yeah, exactly, down to 10 men. But on reflection, I know financially it's a big hit to Villa. There's no doubt about it, about not being in the Champions League. But Unai Emery in in Europa League has got a great record. And, you know, going to Europa League, I was thinking, it gives you a great chance of winning a trophy and qualifying for the Champions League through the league next season. What do you think? Am I wrong, or am I just being patronising?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of fans will be trying to put a spin on it today and go, okay, we are in the Europa League. It's still a great achievement. It's 3 years of Europe on the trot. In the hands of Emery, he is a fantastic manager, and we have a great shot at that particular trophy. And as Spurs have just showed us, that can be a route into the Champions League. So whether that's through the league next year, if it's still 5 places, or perhaps with success in this trophy. Having said that, I wouldn't fancy playing Crystal Palace in the final. We didn't do too well in the semi-final in the FA Cup. Again, we had a bit of an off day. We haven't had many. At the end, we've had, I think, 8 wins out of 10. So massive credit. Without that, you know, we got up to 66 points, 1 point on 42. I think we were 10. So we've gone on an amazing run and just fell a little bit short. But as people have said, we dropped some of those points early on in the season, picking up against 10 men, Ipswich, I think it was, and 8 equalised with Villa Park, Bournemouth. You know, those moments. A lot of teams have them, right? Yeah, just
try and change that going into the next season. But Steve, we asked the Forest fan which are the players he'd most want to keep. So I'm going to ask you the question about your squad. Which players would you like Emery to hang on to for this Europa League journey next season, and also challenging higher up the table?
I mean, of course, ideally, if we could keep our squad together, amazing. But I think the blow yesterday, it's not just that financial blow, but it means that maybe we lose. I think we've got to do a big sell before June. It's really difficult to say, right? We want to keep our goalkeeper, our spine, Kamara, Tielemans, Watkins, great feast as well. But if someone's got to go, you almost have to sell whoever you're going to get the most cash for and make the most profit. We still have fringe players there, like Buendia, maybe he won't be back, Dendonka, but I don't think that's going to raise the kind of funds that we need to raise before June the 30th to be like PSR compliant.
Okay.
There's rumours of that Martinez going to Saudi.
Yeah.
Any big player is going to be a big one.
Absolutely. Just very quickly, Steve, I love the shirt. When I saw your shirt with the intertwined lacing, it just reminded me of some players, you know, the Ekiogs, the McGraths. There's some real heroes. It's a classic. It's a McGrath. Yeah. It's a Paul McGrath shirt. It's a classic shirt. Yeah. Villa have had a classic season. Well done. And we'll see you next year on FanZone, yeah?
Take care.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for your time.
Cheers, mate.
Take care. So, of course, one team that benefited from that win by Manchester United over Aston Villa was Newcastle. So we've got to talk about how they'll be in Champions League next season. Vibhab's here with us from India. Vibhab, did you sigh was it a huge sigh of relief, rather, come the end of that 90 minutes yesterday when you saw that Manchester United had beaten Aston Villa?
Vibhab, I want you to repeat after me, OK, just very quickly. Well done, Man United. OK, just after me, just this word. Well done, Man United. I know it's going to be tough, but you can do it. OK, ready? Well done, Man United. Off you go.
Well done, Newcastle United.
Well, you wouldn't have been saying that if Aston Villa had got the win yesterday. But like I said, was it a sigh of relief?
Oh, definitely. It was about time we got a favour from some other team. We have been waiting for that for the last 10 game weeks. None of them seem to have returned a favour. Chelsea winning it against Fulham in the final minute or injury time. Bournemouth missing a free header against Villa in the last minute of the game. We never got any favours. And Manu really, I know it was harsh. The goal, Rodgers' goal should have stood. But on the balance of the game, I thought Manu really battered Villa. Even though I'm not really proud of our performance, but I think over the course of the season, we truly deserved it.
Absolutely. Do you know what, Vibe? I heard Alan Shearer saying it's the best Newcastle season in his lifetime.
Wow.
He said it was the best in his lifetime. What about for you, the job Eddie Howe has done? Does he deserve a statue outside St James's Park?
I am definitely younger than Alan Shearer, so it is the best season in my lifetime as well. Right? Yes, Eddie, I was just discussing in one of our fan groups today. He is right up there in the all-time best Newcastle managers out there, comparing him with Sir Bobby Robson, because the sheer a person he is, right? A gentleman. He oozes every good quality there is out there, and to see him winning the way he has, it's been great. I hope he turns out to be our Sir Alex Ferguson for decades to come.
Okay, just before you go, Vibe, I just want you to try this again, okay? We'll change it a little bit. Thank you, Man United. Let's see if we can do it now. Let's do it, right? Little Man United fans out in the world. Thank you, Man United. Off you go, Vibe.
Thank you, Eddie Howe, and every single Newcastle United player who got us the trophy and the top 5 this season.
Oh, Vibe, I'm sure you're going to love hearing that Champions League anthem again. Thank you so much for joining us. Newcastle fan Vibe joining us from India. Ooh, speaking of Newcastle, of course, next season we're going to be having a certain derby. Sunderland, of course, the 3rd team to be promoted from the Championship at the weekend after winning that playoff final at Wembley. We'll be getting into all things Black Cats after this break. See you in a moment. Well, it's only right we start looking ahead to next season, and of course the newcomers will be Leeds and Burnley, and on Saturday we learnt that the 3rd Championship team to be promoted to the Premier League was Sunderland. So to talk all things Black Cats, we've got Stephen Paul joining us, who were at the Championship playoff final at Wembley at the weekend. What a game. Be honest, when you went into the break at half-time, Sheffield United leading, they had quite a few chances. Did you see the team being able to turn it around?
At half time, I was a bit nervous, a bit worried about obviously the way the first half of it went. But our motto for the playoffs was till the end, so I always had faith in the lads coming through and being able to get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, look, it has been to the end. The previous game, they scored with a header in the last seconds of the game. But this is a really young side, Stephen Paul, and the resilience they've shown under Regis Lebris this season has been incredible. They were written off before the playoffs because I think they lost. They didn't win for 5 or 6 games, didn't they? But what is the secret under this young French manager who nobody had really heard of before he walked through the doors at Sunderland?
Well, I think that was similar in our first season in the Championship. They were allowed to play with a little bit of freedom, allowed to express themselves. And with being so young, I just think they took to the game with no fear. And that's a motto all the way through until the end.
Stephen Paul, most people, when they think of Sunderland, they think of the infamous documentary, Sunderland Till I Die. You had years of hurt, of course, 8 years out of the Premier League, rival fans laughing at you, probably the closest rival in Newcastle, if we're being honest. But you've turned that around now. What can people expect from this side in the Premier League next season?
I think one thing that we proved is that, I mean, obviously we were the youngest team across the whole AFL. Our players are playing with a bit of freedom, and we're all still learning. We've improved with every season as we went on in the chase since we got promoted by the Championship, and we've got such promising players. Hopefully, we'll keep holding more. Obviously, we've got Christy Rigg, who's still only 17. We've got Mayenda, who's just it's unpredictable. So Sunderland are unpredictable, and I think we're going to go from strength to strength. Obviously, we've got to strengthen over the summer, but technically this season we've got. So we can just go for it and try our best.
So for anyone who's not quite familiar with Sunderland's story, they are one of the huge clubs in the Premier League, but there has been the rise and fall of them in the last 8 years. So let's just have a look at this. So the last time they were in the Premier League was back in the 2016-17 campaign. They finished bottom of the table, went down to the Championship, and it was back-to-back relegations into League One, where they were there for 4 seasons. But they managed to get back into the 2nd division. And then, of course, as we know, Regis Lebris will be leading them out to the Premier League anthem next season. Yeah. Tom Watson got the winner. Unfortunately, he's joining another Premier League team in Brighton. But which other players should we be excited about, Paul Steve?
Oh, there's an abundance of players that we've been bringing through. You've got Trey Hume, who loves a tackle. You've got Dennis Sutton, who's just got into the under-21s England squad. You've got Mundell, who's came from Standard Liège. He's really good. And you've got the pattern, Thierry Henry, Wilson Isidore.
Yeah, you've got Joe Bellingham as well. I mean, he's been linked to a lot of teams as well. Do you think he'll stay next season? I mean, he's a teenager as well. Talk about Rick being 7. I think Jobe's only 19 as well. Do you think he's going to stay now you're in the Premier League?
Honestly, I don't. I said before the playoff final, whether we win or lose, I believe Jobe's going to be away. Since he's come to us, he's been brilliant, and he's went from strength to strength. It's been reported at the minute that he's currently in Germany talking Eintracht Frankfurt, and you've also got Leipzig and Dortmund he's interested. If he does go, he's been nothing but phenomenal for us since he came to the club, and he's helped us get back to where we believe we belong.
Steve, Paul, you got any messages for Newcastle fans out there?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why we asked that question, because we got...
Wait, what did you say? Let's hear it again.
Go on.
Easy 6 points.
Because a Newcastle fan, talked to a Newcastle fan just before we came on there, he said he was delighted that Sunderland had come up because it was a guaranteed 6 points and you'll be going back down at the end of the season. What have you got to say to that?
We'll be the team that bridges the gap from the ordinary what you've been used to, the 3 what we've gone down and 3 gone up. I think we'll finally break that monotony and we'll be the ones who steal.
And also Newcastle fans, people saying it's going to be an easy 6 points because obviously they're the bigger team and the better team at the moment. But when we did the 6 in a row, we went into every game as the underdogs and we still managed to get the job done then. So it's not going to be as easy as what they think it is.
Oh, we can't wait for the derby. The stadium light is going to be bouncing. Steve, Paul, congratulations. Looking forward to join Sunderland in the Premier League next season. Woo. Leeds, Burnley and Sunderland.
Brilliant.
Of course, you made a very brave prediction. Do you think all 3 will avoid the drop come the end of next season?
I think they've got more chance of avoiding the drop than the 3 teams that came up last season.
OK.
Honestly, in terms of Leeds having that previous experience, a manager who, in Farke, who's experienced, and I think he's got resources now, Scott Parker, who's been in the Premier League as well, off a base of being really good defensively. Sunderland are the outsiders, but their youth is so... They play with no fear, and they've got a manager who's, like, tactically really good. I really enjoyed watching Regis Lebris this season, so they've got more chance of staying up. But look, all 3 of them will be underdogs next season, no doubt.
You know the viewers love to hear your predictions, so I want you to talk down the camera now, Leroy. Top 4, because, you know, Arsenal might not do everyone a favour again and get top 5.
Top 4?
Yeah, go for it. Go on, look in the camera.
In fourth will be Newcastle.
Is that because our director said something to you?
He put me off. He's trying to put me under pressure now. Fourth will be Newcastle. Third will be Liverpool.
Ooh.
Second will be Man City, and first will be Arsenal.
Whoa! I can assure you, I wasn't envisioning that. I didn't say a word to him.
I feel a bit ill. I think Arsenal will win the league next season. I don't think they can't go on finishing second. They've got to break monopoly at some point.
Manchester City won 4 leagues in a row. Maybe they could finish second 4 seasons in a row.
Man City got too far to come back. I think Arsenal are the team to watch out. Arsenal will win the league. If they don't, they'll finish second.
What a big call. Arsenal fans, I hope you drunk that up. Listen to Leroy. He thinks you're going to win the season next season. But thank you so much for joining us every Monday. It's been an absolute pleasure having your company. Of course, enjoy the summer. Stay safe because we go again for the 2025-2026 season in August. Leroy, as always, been a pleasure.
Thanks,
see you. Bye.
Can I change my mind?